Well, let's get into this conversation now. Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Minerals and Petroleum Resources has raised concerns over what it calls a lack of progress to reach illegal miners in Stillfontein. 8 people have died and hundreds are believed to still be underground, with government accused of dragging its feet. Committee chairperson is Mika Mahlaule, who talks to us this evening. Mr. Mahlaule, good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time. What are your biggest concerns about the Stillfontein rescue operations?
Good evening, Toli, and good evening to your viewers. We will juxtapose the two incidences in Sabi and in Stillfontein. And give both a characterization. In Stillfontein, you have people who are underground, not willing to come out. Those who are willing to come out, for some reason, they come dead. In Sabi, where there was a rockfall and people were trapped, and I'm using the word trapped purposefully, there was a willingness to come out, and they were rescued within a weekend. Our concern is the cooperation that is not there from the underground miners, illegal miners, to surface, so that we end this madness that is happening in Stillfontein.
Yeah.
But we're also concerned about the striking of a balance between the human rights issue and the government's responsibility to deal with illegal mining. There must be a balance. Police and law enforcement agencies must be allowed to do their work, but they must consider that even the lowest criminal has got some right at the end of the day.
You talk about the striking of human rights versus what law enforcement has got to do. It is a difficult one. In fact, this is quite a complex operation in Stillfontein. In what way, you will ask? In this simple way, and that is that there are claims that there are those who are underground acting as some kind of kingpins that direct who is going to get food, who is not. And you also have law enforcement who are tasked with trying to break the back of this operation by not allowing food to flow down there, because the danger is that the more food goes down underground, the longer it's going to take for those who are conducting these operations underground, in inverted commas, preventing others to come out. It's a tricky situation. How do you think police ought to strike that balance?
It is a very tricky situation indeed, Toli, and in a situation where the illegal miners themselves are not cooperating on one hand, but I hear that you are saying other kingpins underground are behaving like they have a number, like in jail. But it is bound to happen where there is no regulation, because illegal mining itself does not have regulators underground. That's why you will have other people emerging as superior to the others, and when you dip food into the hole, they are bound to take, because it's for their survival against the weak, and the weak end up dying. So it's a very difficult situation to strike this. But the police, by mere way of sending letters that are speaking to them to say, guys, come out, we are trying to get you out alive. That's a human right. It can go as far as that. It can't go as far as convincing people who are not willing to come out. And a case in point is what I said earlier about Sabi. Police strike some human rights element, and the illegal miners themselves allowed law enforcement agencies to exercise their role. And the two can balance if there is cooperation. But it's a tricky one, I agree with you.
Yeah. Then there is the lack of involvement of minerals, the Mineral Resources Department. I cannot remember a time when the Minister of Mines, Gwede Mantashe, was at Stillfontein or in Sabi for that matter. Although recently he has come out, I saw him on one media platform, and he seems to be talking tough against the situation. What do you make of his non-visibility in these two areas?
So I got to speak to the minister about the situation, that there is a crisis in Stillfontein, and the department is seen not to be doing something. And then he outlined how they interact with the net joint, which is law enforcement agents, with Minister Mchunu, Home Affairs, International Relations, the security cluster in general. But what he, and to some degree I understand him, which also I can't do, is that when there is a criminal site and you go there and you think you are resolving an issue, you are exacerbating it, rather than in closed doors dealing with issues that may really take those people out. An example was that they were negotiating with South African mine rescue services to make sure that they send what they call a cage. It operates like a lift to take people out, because totally the reality that is not told is that there's nobody who's going inside the hole to take anybody out. It's the Zamazamas themselves that are helping each other to surface.
Right.
Now, the department is negotiating that there must be some form of a cage that goes down. Those who want to come out go into that cage, and then it's pulled. It's a technological cage that can easily be used with many people and not one or two.
Yeah.
It becomes easier. So. I did raise this issue, but when he explained to me that we're not absent, but we can't, when a crime scene police are busy with, we go and behave like we're police ourselves, and we can't do that. So I appreciated that there's something that the department is doing.
And so let's talk further then about the element you've just spoken about, the lowering of a cage down there in order for people to get onto it. Today, very, very disturbing image of one of the miners who did or who was pulled out, looking very emaciated. We were not showing the face in order to accord the person the dignity they deserve. It is absolutely tragic what is likely to happen there, because what he's saying is that the people that he has left down there, many of them are likely to not survive for the next 7 days if they are not pulled out. And I'm looking at his physique and I'm thinking, in all probability, it is what is likely to happen if that help does not come soon enough. What is taking so long for this cage to be lowered? Because the professional rescue team, the understanding is that they have been there for some time. At another point, there was even talk that a camera had been sent down to almost conduct surveillance of this particular place. But no report is coming out to say this is when this is going to take place.
So, Xoli, they are bound to negotiate, the department, the rescue services, and the police, whether they negotiate a fee for rescuers to go down, because the mandate of the rescuers is not to rescue illegal miners, if I say so. It's to rescue those that have accidents in mines That is why there's a fee paid by the mining industry to sustain the rescue services to deal with this in South Africa and abroad. So there has to be the negotiation between the department and the rescuers, and that's where I think they need to fast track their negotiation, because it involves money that from where I'm sitting, I'm not sure whether there is money with the Department of Minerals or police to do that. But I was very happy when they said the Minerals Council is extending a hand to offer some funds to really contribute. They should really conclude their negotiations and lower that cage to make sure that dead or alive people come to the surface.
So very quickly,
the dignity you are talking about is very important to our people.
So very quickly, what you are saying is that what stands between the lowering of the cage to take out those who want to come out is the issue of money.
I'm saying it's the issue of negotiation. Negotiation may involve money. I'm not involved in that, but it's negotiations between various departments with the rescue services. Because I'm not privy to the discussions, I rely on briefings from either Minister Mchunu or Minister Mantashe, who have not briefed me now at where the discussions are. So I can't say it's the issue of money. They may resolve the issue of money, but some machinery is needed, and they don't have. I don't know. I don't have details of what is stalling the negotiations now.
Mika Mahlaule, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much. Hopefully we can have yet more engagements with you when you have a little bit more information. But thank you very much for affording us your time.